Hey everyone, this is Brian Hale, and this is my presentation for my Organic Chemistry Fundamentals website that I created. I chose the wooden background with the trees and everything because I felt it looked very organic in nature, and it just went together. Weebly had about 100 different things I could use from templates, and this one was the best. I still kept my intro the same because it explains why I made this site, and I also, if we go to the next, I still kept the 3 links at the bottom because they're my biggest hobbies and I felt they're necessary for a homepage introduction. Um, we go, we'll check out, let's just go and talk about the website, why I did everything, how I did it, and especially which method is used for what in particular. Let's go with, out of all the common terms in organic chemistry, there are a ton. I only picked about 20 to 25, but these are pretty popular. I put them in alphabetical order on the right so they could be easily identified once they're found in the word search. I also found out that the word search was kind of difficult to use at first, so I put clear definition or clear instructions on here. So to use the word search, we'd click on the first letter of the word you found, and it would turn like to a light yellow background, and then you'd wait until the background disappears and then pull it to the right, and it should work. It's pretty easy. I wish this. Let's see here. I can't do it on here. Anyway, reactions. If you look at the very bottom left of the word search, you'll see the word reactions. I highlighted it. It's magic, but I did it. I clicked it and then I dragged it. You can't click and drag like you would a normal. There's a delay to it. Anyway, it crosses it off on the top, and then you can read them all. They're in alphabetical order, and it says a reaction is a process that leads to the transformation of one set of chemical substance to another. I mean, this is an elementary definition right there. But I felt that making this word search with the definitions would increase the amount of time students have from reading definition to definition, because when you just sit there and read definitions, it can get really boring. So if you got a word search, it adds a little fun and more downtime so you're not overwhelmed with all these definitions. Let's go to nomenclature. So nomenclature consists of, well, naming obviously, but it's also structures as well. It's being able to see a structure and then name it. So propane, you have methane, ethane, propane, butane. That's all the amount of carbons in the chain. So methane would be 1 carbon, ethane would be 2, and propane would be 3. So I'll click it and see that it looks like an upside down V or a caret. But what that is on the left there's a carbon, in the middle there's a carbon, on the right there's a carbon. And it's all straight lines because each carbon has a bunch of hydrogens, which is explained later and more in detail. Anyway, we'll click it and 3-hexanol. By the way, every time you get to a new term or a new nomenclature word, the computer pronounces it. So that's another reason why I picked this, is because sometimes these words can get a little intense. These are pretty easy, but if you've ever looked at the back of a medicine bottle, you'd see some words that were kind of hard to enunciate, and that's what Quizlet made easy. I included a few hard words in here just for fun, but most of these are pretty simple or rudimentary introductory level organic chemistry terms. I'm not going to explain how to draw that, but at least being able to see the OH group off of a hexane. Hexane is going to be 6, so you start with one of the ends and then just count to the other end, so there's 6 carbons. And also at the bottom right we have choose a study mode. This is flashcard mode right now. You can change it to a quiz mode. They have like 5 different kinds. I didn't memorize them, but feel free to check that out. So let's go to organic properties. Organic properties, they're kind of basic definitions of what you'd learn in biology, but biology, a lot of that has to do with organic chemistry as well, so it's a nice review. And I don't know if I'm going to stick with this quiz that I have, or this review. It seems a little, doesn't seem as specific as I'd like, but that's the only thing I have right now. I'm probably going to change it soon. Anyway, what you do here, it's just like Quizlets from the same people. This is just a different mode of learning it. You can do the flashcard as you saw before, but this is going to ask you a vague a question. You just answer it, and whenever, I don't know if I did it. No, I didn't. I should have shown you all what happens when you answer it. Anyway, what it does is it'll show you what the actual answer is, and any words that you got or any words that you type will be highlighted on their answer. And you can choose to give yourself credit for the answer or not. It's like an override. It's kind of fun, actually. But yeah, if you look at the bottom right, you have all these study modes. You have scatter, learn, test, flashcard, space race, and speller. I don't know what some of those are, but I'm sure they'd be fun to play around with. Now let's go to, under the More tab, two of them drop down. One is classification, one is quizzes. So let's go to classification. Classification is an intense part of organic chemistry. I really wanted to get down and dirty with it. However, for the sake of this website and the sake of an introductory organic chemistry just discussion, I made a Pinterest board because there's too much to talk about. You can talk small things about it, but you're just gonna leave people wondering like what you're even talking about. It takes more effort, so I kind of want to just introduce terminology with Pinterest, and I think I have about 20 different pins on this board, but there are so many different kinds of spectroscopy for classification that's the main reason why I didn't want to get too down and crazy with it. It takes a lot of patience too, but as long as somebody sees the pictures and maybe reads a little bit upon it, when they're introduced with it in class, it won't be as overbearing. They'll be like, oh, I've seen this before. I didn't understand it then. But gaining a sense of familiarity with something definitely goes a long way when learning something new. At least it does for me. Yeah. The last section is called quizzes. We have one quiz in here now, but I'm making more. They just take a really long time because I don't want to ask too many challenging questions, but I don't want to make it too easy either. I might just make them longer with easier questions. That might be more fun, kind of like a test of endurance. And I say endurance because these quizzes, if you get an answer right, they add time. If you get an answer wrong, it subtracts points. So it kind of makes an already, I don't know, hectic thing more hectic. No, I don't know. It's fun though. Once you learn, and these quizzes are meant to test what you've already learned in the preceding sections. So if you don't do well, you need to go make note cards. And if people want to take these quizzes with note cards they make or worksheets they make, by all means do it. At least you're learning. And that's the only thing we want to do in this is learn, teach people, educate. It's not what makes it cool, it's what helps them learn. So the first quiz right here is organic terminology. And it's not actually organic terminology. I made this title. I'm actually changing that. Yes, it says it is actually over general biology related chemistry questions. I'll be changing the name soon. The next, it's at the very bottom. The next quiz is over the common terms word search definitions. So what we went over in the first section, I'll be making a quiz to put underneath here. And I will be changing the name of the organic terminology quiz so it's not confusing, and I will move it. I'm going to have these in chronological order. That way people can, and I'll probably post links too so they can quickly go back and forth. Anyway, so that is my website right now. I think it's probably about 85–90% done. I'm really pleased with everything, so let me know what you all think, okay? Thank you all.